right then, we all knew what was going to happen. Jamie Gittens, 7-year deal. How much will he cost? It's going to go over the line as far as I'm concerned, and I think it's a good signing.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Yo, what's going on, friends? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I've absolutely tapped out watching England. Miserable. I'm going to speak about Thomas Tuchel on the second channel. Not happy with him as things stand, but we're here to talk about Chelsea, and we're here to talk about Jamie Gittens. We're going to get into it today. Updates from all kinds of journalists confirming the 7-year deal. Guys, thank you for joining me as always. Amazing support here on Football Therapy of late. So if you want to be part of the GOAT gang, why not like the video and subscribe. Yeah, interesting how it's a 7-year deal and only a 6-year deal for Liam Delap. Both like very young. I suppose Gittens is slightly younger. David Ornstein writes, Chelsea have submitted an official proposal to sign Jamie Gittens to Dortmund, so this is club to club, and have agreed a 7-year contract with the forward. The 20-year-old is keen on a move, and he only wants Chelsea. And why wouldn't you if you're a 20-year-old English talent? It's a party. Speak to Palmer. Speak to Noni Madueke, who is playing well for England, by the way. Speak to Levi Colwill, and all the other Utes fam. Chelsea have had a long-standing interest in Jamie Gittens. Dortmund view the potential sale as a key to a summer rebuild, and believe the forward is not a natural fit for Niko Kovac's preferred system. He's a preferred fit for us. He's very much a Maresca player. We'll look at the stats for the last time before we see him play. And I've got them all lined up for you here, guys. He's yet to play for the senior team, but he's 20 years old. He may well get a call up. But when you got a left winger, like a right winger like Noni Madueke playing good on the left wing. The Athletic reported on June the 3rd that Gittens and Manchester United's Alejandro Garnacho were in Chelsea's winger targets. I speak for probably a lot of Chelsea fans when I say few to Gittens, and thank God not Garnacho, despite me thinking Garnacho will do better away from United. Of course, Jadon Sancho is returning to Manchester United. Bayern Munich have previously looked at Jamie Gittens, but a bid never materialised. Funnily enough, and unsurprisingly, of course, come through Man City's youth system. And, you know, Joe Shields, his grubby mitts all over this transfer, surely. Yes, so, Jamie Gittens, let's have a look here. He is very much a Maresca winger, which is represented here on X-Value as a one-to-one explorer, 100% in terms of that profile. He's a left-sided player, a right-footed player. He's 20 years old. He's very, very young. He's got a few assists and 8 non-penalty goals from 4.2 non-penalty goal XG, which means he's a good finisher. To overperform your expected goals by 4 is elite for a 20-year-old winger, especially when all our players underperform their XG as a Chelsea vibe. That's what we're into. We're into underperforming, not overperforming. So to get a player like this who overperforms, it's very, very good indeed. Just looking at his polar chart here, very, very good at ball carrying and dribbling. That's essentially going to be such an important thing for Maresca, because his system, when it's like his way in terms of like working the way he wants, it's a lot of onus on wingers to essentially do 1v1s, beat their man. The system will put a lot of field tilt, a lot of pressure in the opposition defensive third, and then it will be like, right, wingers, take your man on, get inside, and then whether it's like a Enzo Fernandez crashing the box, or a Liam Delap, who would probably be more appropriate for this game state, holding players up, playing in Palmer, playing in other wingers, where Nico Jackson's more of a runner. Chelsea might still... So for me, the story was Chelsea want to sign 2 young players and take them to the Club World Cup, register them, and then look after the Club World Cup for finishing touches. So for me, it's Delap and Gittens, a winger and a striker. And to be honest, I'm pretty happy with that. We're going to look at 2 more examples of his statistics to give you some more context of who we signed. So I've used this before, his understat. page here. This is spider chart next to me, next to my head. He's represented in green, of course. Goals per 90, 0.4. That's like a striker wouldn't be too upset with that. But I think the most important thing here is showing you the XG, 0.23. So he's massively outperforming it. Now, what I've shown before and what I'm going to show again here is a guy who Chelsea have looked at and really want, apparently. And just this morning I was reporting on what Romano said, how he's a dream or preference, is Nico Williams. So here's Nico Williams represented in blue, very similar amount of minutes. They are the same. Nico Williams beats Jamie Gittens in terms of creativity. Assists per 90s and key passes per 90. They're the same for everything else except goals per 90. It's nearly double as much for Jamie Gittens than it is for Nico Williams. He outperforms his XG. So he's pretty much, Nico Williams is pretty much on par. You know, with chances he's expected to score, he scores. Jamie Gittens does better than Williams. So that is really, really huge and important. I also want to show you this, his FB Ref scouting report, which is the strengths here. He is in the 99th percentile, which of course is the top 1% for European wingers for the following metrics. Goals and XG, top 1% for wingers, non-penalty goals and XG as well. Shot creating actions from take-ons, which is dribbling 1v1s. This is precisely what Enzo Maresca wants. This is what he wants from his wingers. That's what he wants. Shot creating actions from take-ons, goal creating actions from take-ons. There's no one better. Top 1%, top 1%, top 1%. Percentage of dribblers tackled. Is that him being the dribblers tackled divided by number of attempts? Basically, an amazing dribblers. And again, finally, the final 99th percentile stat is successful take-ons, 3.57 per game per 90 minutes, which is Eden Hazard numbers, really, in terms of dribbling. I'm not saying he's as good as Eden Hazard, but take-ons, very good. Take-ons attempted, 7.97 per games, which is in the top 2%. Like, you know, Jeremy Doku will be up there with him, and carries into progressive carries. He is a dribbler. They are some incredibly strong stats there. Again, I'm using Nico Williams as a reference point because he was reportedly the dream signing, and he just cost too much money. By the way, it looks like now it does look like Osimhen is going to Saudi Arabia, to Al Hilal, which I'll stop talking about it now. And this is Nico Williams' scouting report. He's only in the 99th percentile for one metric, and that is take-ons attempted, which is a lot. And say successful take-ons, he's in the 98th. So he fails the majority of his dribbles. He tries a lot of dribbles, but he fails the majority of them. And then that's it. I think Athletic Club have had a disappointing campaign in many ways, and they obviously pride themselves on their defence. But this is, and yes, we'll talk about the leagues, but this is not as good, Nico Williams, as this, Jamie Gittens. Jamie Gittens is much better. And Jamie Gittens will probably be on the third of what Nico Williams' wage demands is. So it's really, really worth mentioning that. I think Gittens is the perfect profile for Maresca. I do. I don't think he's like the finished article. Of course he's not. He's anything but the finished article. He's not at a senior call-up. He's 20 years old. He's had pretty good moments for Borussia Dortmund, but is not being selected at the moment due to profiling. But I do think from looking at him, I've looked at a few highlights. I've not watched a Dortmund game and just watched Gittens in his movement, I've got to be honest. So many of you, I defer to those of you who have done that and your opinions on him. But he looks great. So I think this deal is going to very much be done. The contract is agreed, 7 years. I wonder if, it must be 7+1 because he's 20 and because Delap's 23, it's 6. And maybe there's a +1. I reckon the +1s are in the contracts. They're just not being presented as news to us. So let's talk about Bundesliga tax. Yes, I get it. Everyone has fear from buying from the Bundesliga. Just this morning, in this morning's video, I was speaking about Havertz, who of course did some bits for us, and he's a great player, but he's a unique and difficult player to get the best out of, and everyone ends up just playing him as a freaking Andy Carroll style striker, which is definitely not utilising his best qualities. But then of course we've got Nkunku and Werner of recent purchases that are really good transitionally in that left channel, and Chelsea are going to be squeezing opposition and not playing transitional football. In fact, Maresca's gone on record a few times and said he doesn't like basketball games. So he wants 1v1 wingers. Now, Jamie Gittens is a 1v1 winger. That's what he does. He's a 1v1 winger. So, it seems really, really important. Like, Noni Madueke has been potentially spoken about for a sale, but he is a proper 1-0 still. I just thank God I ditched that game. That is a disgrace. In the 85th minute, 1-0 against Andorra. I'm gonna rip into Tuchel on the second channel. By the way, if you're not subscribed to the second channel, Football Yannick, go check that out on YouTube. Daily uploads on there as well. My giddy aunt, she's off her nut. But Jamie Gittens' 7-year deal will be registered, in my opinion, for the Club World Cup, be taken there, especially now we knew, as soon as we sat at the table with Sancho and we couldn't get a salary agreed, as soon as that was the case, they probably went, right, pick up, the situation with Dortmund. We've agreed a 7-year contract. It's probably about 100k a week or something like that. Maybe even less. Oh no, because he'll be playing in the Champions League, so we'll have the Champions League bonus. So maybe it is 100k a week, but if we were outside the Champions League, maybe 75k a week. These are the kind of contracts we've been offering young England players. It will definitely be a pay, like maybe doubling his Dortmund salary. I'm assuming, like maybe more than that. Maybe he's on like 30k, 40k a week at Dortmund, and now he's going to go to like 100k a week at Chelsea. He'll say thank you very much. Chelsea will say no thank you to a Nico Williams, 300k a week. And like the stats I've just presented to you, maybe this makes sense. Are we done though? Almost certainly not. There'll be loads and loads of exits. There will be probably more signings as well. A centre-back, a striker, maybe even another left winger, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Please do comment down below. Keep it locked to Football Therapy, of course. I will keep you up to date with all the biggest Chelsea news stories. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the football. Peace.